Hello everyone. In this video we're going to take a look at the H5P Interactivity tool in Moodle. For those who are not part of our Hub program, you can find this in a quick search of the Moodle plugin database for H5P. There's also a website associated with it, so if you don't have Moodle at all, you can actually create your interactivities that way. So I guess to start with, what is H5P? And a good way to get a sense of that is to just create one. So I've gone ahead and created an activity or resource, and you can see interactive content is listed as one of my choices with the H5P icon. I'm going to go ahead and add one. And what H5P is a way to create HTML5 interactivities for students, particularly if they're going through a video. So that's actually what we're going to do in this case, is we're going to take a look at changing a video to make it a little bit more interactive and more engaging for the students. So you can see it has the typical description, which would just show up at the top of the page. We don't really need to even have that because everything that we want to pull in here is available right here. Interactive video is what we're going to actually choose, but you can see that there are a whole pile of other plugins as well that you can feel free to use, including things like a memory game, multiple choice quiz, way to turn an image into a place where you can have hotspots, kind of like a ThingLink type of model. Voice recognition even. But what we're going to start with is just a straight interactive video, because sometimes for students in online learning, you can start to tune out after a little while of playing with a video. So I'm going to go ahead and choose one of these. And so you can see it immediately switches the screen to here. The video we're going to use for this example is going to be, let's call it Arduino 101. Or actually Arduino Nightlight, because that's really what we're creating. So the first step, of course, is to pull in my video. So you can see there's a little link here where I can add a file. The file that I actually want to load is already on YouTube, and if you have any YouTube video, you can go ahead and link to that here. I've already got the video link in my clipboard, so I'm just going to paste that in and choose Insert. All right, the next piece that I want to do, there's lots of other pieces you can add to this, but really that's all we need to do. The next piece that I want to do is to add some interactions. So I'll go ahead and click here. You can see that my video is showing. And if I hit play, of course. Hi everyone, in this tutorial we'll have a look at the Arduino and how to use it to create this color changing lamp. All right, so this works well as its own video, but I'd like to actually make this a little bit more interactive. So what I might do is I'm going to jump ahead to where I start to actually build the Arduino circuit. This project, we are going to need an Arduino, of course, a breadboard or circuit board, prototyping board, sorry, that these are sometimes called, a handful of connection leads, some resistors. In our case, these are 220 ohm resistors, although one of them I actually had to use the 330 because I just didn't have any 220s. All right, so I've got to the point where I've just described my, my resistors. Now, typically you'd just let that video play, but wouldn't it be great if at that point, rather than just skipping over the resistors, I had a little link pop up. So I'm going to drag my link object down here. You can see what it kind of looks like. I'm going to put it over by my resistors right here. And it's going to say, where do I want to do that? So I can actually have it display for a period of time, or I can actually pause the video when it gets to that point, which is what I'm going to do here. The title is going to be, click here for resistor color codes. And I actually have a graphic right here that's just off of resistorguide.com. I'm going to go here and select that URL. I'm going to go back to my my Moodle, and I'm just going to go ahead and paste that right here. You can choose some details in terms of visuals, so maybe I might make that red instead of gray. Make it just a little bit transparent for a background. That sounds good. And box shadow, sure. And I'll go ahead and hit done, and you can see this is now showing up. I can actually move that around even now, and I'll be able to move that around as I come back to edit this. And I can come back and edit any of these interactivities at any time. All right, so the video is going to keep playing, and so what I might do is, just a little bit ahead here, I actually start talking about the longest pin is actually the ground. This is opposite to a typical LED where it's the shortest pin and it's the ground. Okay, so maybe I might want to have a little bit of a check for understanding there. So what I can do is I'm going to go and maybe do a very simple single choice set. So I'm just going to have a single question. I'll bring that down right into the middle of the screen here. I do want to pause the video. I'm going to use a poster so it's a little bit bigger. Otherwise, you just have a little button. My title is going to be LED pins, and my question is going to be which pin is ground? And my alternatives, obviously, I'm going to make the longest one as the correct answer. And maybe I might do something as simple as the shortest one as one of the distractors. And all I need to do again is just go back up to the top, and you can see there's a button here that says done. I'll go ahead and push done, and it will show me on the screen. Oh, I have more questions, so I'm just going to actually delete some of these other questions because I don't want to have more than one question in this, although I can. Now I can push done, and you can see that that's going to appear right there. Again, I can just drag this around so it appears just right on the side like that. Mess with colors, etc. if you choose to. And I can go ahead and just keep doing that throughout the entire video. You can see that there is the ability to add text boxes. There's an ability to add a table, links, have an image pop up, have a number of statements, single choice set. So this is where there's one right answer, multiple choice where there's multiple right answers, true, false, fill in the blanks, drag and drop. Mark the words, so you can highlight the words that answer whatever question you're asking. The ability to drag text around. Crossroads, this one's actually kind of neat where you can actually have choose your own adventure. So maybe at this point I'll say, okay, I got the electronics, how do I actually build the circuit? And then you can actually have these where you can choose what time in the video you want to jump to. And so you can create a little bit of a choose your own adventure that way. Navigation hotspot. Again, same idea when you click on that area. So you can actually have a point in the video where you might have a little sign in the video clip. And so you move that to highlight the video and then just go ahead and put whatever time you want to jump to. And that's really it. Once I'm done, I can go ahead and save and display, and you'll see the video the way that the students will see it. I can go back at any point in time and make this work, or edit this, I should say. But here we are. We can see that there is a video is ready to play. I can go ahead and hit play. I'm just going to jump ahead to the first interactive. This tutorial although one of them I actually had to use the 330 because I just didn't have any 220s. So you can see it pauses my video at exactly that point. I can click for the resistor color codes. It takes me there. When I'm done, I can close that window. I'm back to my video, and I can hit play again. But that won't affect the project. Later on, when 4-pin LED, the longest pin is actually the ground. This is opposite to a typical LED where it's the shortest pin, it's the ground. And again, it pops up the question, so which pin is the ground? So I'm going to go ahead and pick the shortest one, which is the wrong answer. And it'll give me the feedback to say that's the wrong answer, that the longest one is the right one. It doesn't save that anywhere. It does just give the students some feedback to move forward, and then of course they can continue watching the video. And that's the one that goes to my negative connection. Anyway, if you guys have any questions on this, feel free to let me know. Happy interactivity building.